weekend I was able to change the battery on the blower and put a fresh battery on it, and I'm charging the battery on it that I ran down. It's charging now, and I did get to blow the top kitchen side that I call the kitchen side porch off. See the pollen out here on the tops of furniture or glass or any and everything. So that will all come in due time to wash that stuff down and clean these windows again and give this porch a good cleaning. Those steps I'll clean at the same time that I use the Dawn and the water on the porches. That's when I will clean the steps, because I can just do that with a broom and warm water with Dawn. Can't take a pressure sprayer to those. We have before and we were advised not to, but that's a big project that we're looking into, getting this porch redone, the upper part here as well as the steps, and those steps over there that go up into our bedroom porch, get that side of the porch floor and the steps on, and the front porch and those steps all done. Oh, a joy. It's only like 10 after 3, but I am closing up today's video so I can go upstairs and spend time with my man. I think I'm getting a little spoiled to us just sitting and doing nothing together, and I'm really starting to enjoy that. So I will see you all back tomorrow, which will be our Saturday. Until then, you all take good care, and bye-bye. And here we are, Saturday morning. The thermometer inside the cabinet there says 33. I've not looked at my phone, but I woke up, got in the shower. When I got out, I saw a big old snowflakes coming down from above. So I guess that takes care of this weekend or today's pulling weeds. And those lilies down there, I hope that they're not going to go into shock and burn up the leaves. And things are starting to get really pretty and blooming here. But this is typical for Tennessee weather. Oh my goodness, I do believe it's going to be a beautiful Monday. Yep, I said Monday. I totally skipped out on Saturday and Sunday because there wasn't really that much going on. Ken did get a lot done. He got some new tires all around the truck. I had those put on Friday. Hear the birds? They're saying good morning. And then we had gotten new tires for the camping trailer, the RV. We had a blowout the last time we were out in it, so we got new tires for it. And a good spare for it. Always have a spare. Always have a spare for a backup, just in case you need it. And then, let's see, he put new brakes on. I'm not sure if it was the front or the back, because he's already put brakes on one or the other. So, new brakes on the front and back. And he had gotten his birthday present put on his mower. He wanted a seat that was a little easier on his back after mowing, because it may not look like a bumpy ride out there, but it's a bumpy ride. Had a super hard freeze over the weekend, so I may end up having to cut what's growing back and let it start over. That's what it's looking like down there. It looks okay right now, but usually when we have a hard freeze like that and they bloom that much, the tips will get burned up, and sometimes I just trim them off. But that would take a lot of time to sit down there and trim them off. So I'll just keep an eye on it and see what that looks like. See, some things are really starting to bloom. I did not get to get out here over the weekend because it was cold, like winter cold, to start pulling weeds and turning pine needles over or scraping old pine needles out. And sometimes I reuse them, and sometimes if they're just yucky, mucky, just, you know, just really need to be raked out and replaced, I do that. So I'm hoping to get out here a couple hours today. I thought I'd start around front since it's shaded right there right now. But I got a late start to my morning. I still have some things that I need to do inside. They're going to take an hour or two to get done. So I thought I would come down here and show you up closer. They look like they're doing okay. I will just have to keep an eye on them over the next several days. But everything is definitely popping up and blooming out, including the weeds tucked away in there. I'll have to get in there and pull those out. And I'll just put a fresh pine needles, I'll just tuck it in around the plants and then back there. And I did not trim that like I said I would. So it may just bloom like that this year. I may need to support it though, because it's going to get pretty heavy. So I may have to support it a little bit better or trim it back like I said I would. But that's what's going over here on this bed. I see some wild onions. And when I am over here working in this small area here, if I smell a certain smell, if I smell the smell of what would smell like cucumbers or fresh cut grass, that I've always said, oh, I love that smell, what is it? My girlfriend says, that's a cottonmouth, girl. If you smell that smell, you need to back up or stop doing what you're doing. So I was glad she taught me that. She's a little country girl. She's got a lot of wisdom and knowledge, but she's taught me a lot of things. And then if I smell like something that would smell like a skunk, that is those black snakes that are actually get really huge, and we know we do have one of those. But that's what that would be over here, making its bed. So I have to, you know, be alert when I am pulling and tugging and tucking and working over here. Just, you know, stay aware of your surroundings and just keep an eye out and your ears open. It's all blooming, and we still have not gotten out the first piece of spring furniture, but that's okay. We still have many more days and many weekends to get all of that out and get it set up. Heard a woodpecker. This area right here in the back and going around the side there and then around this side this way, I will actually push mow that often just for exercise. Ken will mow up to like the swing set, or he'll go ahead and mow, and then when I see it's coming in, I'll just use the push mower and push that. I love push mowing for some reason, I always have. And then I do that for steps and exercise. And I will go quite a way over. And then around the house and up close to the house, I will do the push mowing. But I'll go back to about where the yellow cottage is, or normally to the swing set. And sometimes I'll even go back as far as behind the swing set where there is a clothesline. And that's usually about my stopping point. But Mama Dawn's got to get back inside and do one thing before I do any shower. Did my hair, didn't do my, put my face on as I call it. And I was waiting for my vitamin C to get good and soaked in on my arms. So I got to get my sunscreen on now. Absolutely right now. Because even just that little bit of time out there in that sun, I could really feel it beating down on that fresh, brand new skin that has been healing. And this is what I'm using for this spring. I use that on my arms, and then I would use it on my body. And I'm going to be going through a lot of that, so I might as well look into getting some backup. And then I will either use the Sierra V or the Neutrogena. So that's the ones I would use on my face and my hands. I'm thinking I might start doing the monthly favorites myself, so you can just get a wee peek into maybe the things that I use from month to month. I thought I'd come outside, being that this side of the porch is shaded somewhat, or a lot right now. And just out of habit, I was headed straight to that chair right there that has the sun beaming in on it. That's normally where I would have gone, but I can't do that now or just yet without having some kind of sleeves on my arms. But I wanted to come out here and get some fresh air. I see those daylilies down there around that big planter. They're kind of a little weepy, floppy there against the ground. That's probably due from the hard freeze we had. So I'm on my second cup kind of coffee day. Well, I am on my second cup of coffee, cappuccino. It's just one of those second cup of cappuccino days. And I'm probably going to be just skipping lunch since I'm having this cappuccino. I know, that is so not what I need to be doing. But do we always do what we need to do? If we did, we would not be human. And why am I not down there pulling weeds? Because the sun is some kind of bright down there right now. I'm hoping to try to do that when the sun starts moving around and to the front. It will start shading the back here. Slowly but surely. Which is an awesome thing when you love sitting in the sun. Especially if it's just a wee bit cool out. I'm going to show you this little picture that Tara just sent me of Sophie and her sister, her sissy, which is, her name is Brownie now. I sent her a text and I said, I need a Sophie fix. I mean, pick. Aw, it looks kind of dark. Got a wee bit of a glare, a bit of a glare there. She said they're in the bathroom right now, and they both are in this teeny tiny little bed. Aww. It's really all kind of dark right now, isn't it? From the glare. Is that a little better? Brownie and Sophie. Oh, they're so cute. The butterfly bushes down there at his barn shed, the red shed there. They were supposed to have gotten the tops lopped off. For tonight's dinner, my menu is under the glass there. I've not been doing a meal plan lately. I've not been using my meal planner. The reason being is things were kind of up in the air with us knowing what was going to happen with Ken going in for the procedure to be done to convert his heart. So the update with him and his heart, he's not in AFib or A-flutter right now. He's back into normal sinus rhythm. So the first opening date is not going to be until, see, this is April, later May, possibly the end of May, unless someone calls in and cancels their appointment and he wants to take that appointment. With Sophie coming into the home at that time too, she's going to be X amount of weeks time, and we're going to need to board her overnight while Ken goes in and has his procedure done, even though they're talking like he'll get to come home same day. But we're going to go prepared to stay the night just in case he were need to stay the night and be observed after that procedure, because they're going to go up on, they will go up into his heart through his groin on both sides, left and right, and I believe that's what they did for me also. They went in left and right. So that's going to be one of the things that we're going to want to make sure everything stays safe. When they go up into your groin like that, they want to make sure that all the bleeding has stopped. So if they even hint at him needing to stay the night, I am going to be all for that, because I had rather him be there and them be able to do whatever they need to do if something were to happen or take place. So I will be all for staying the evening there at the hospital. But we're going to have to board Sophie in a where we used to board Bella and Kelsey when we had her, but we're very comfortable with that. So that's going to work out. At first we were told that she has to be X amount days, weeks old. And we're like, oh, she's just going to be shy of that. And we thought it was the weeks old for her to be boarded. And I was like, do they know that she's not a little fragile dog like Bella was? And or we don't think she is. But and then we found out it's not how old she is, it's how many series of shots she's had before she can be boarded. And the shots can't start until she's a certain age. So then we called another place that we had taken the girls before we found the place that we take them to now, or was taking them to. And they said, it doesn't matter how old she is. Yes, we will board her here. So I'm going to get to doing what I need to get done to these veggies. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken in the cassoulet over here, and I'll show you what it looks like before I before I put the lid back on, once I get the chicken and the ingredients in there, so you can kind of get a peek into what it looks like before it gets cooked. I have shared the after with you all and in one of the videos, and a few of you thought it looked pretty good and you thought you might try it, so I'll just show you what my winging the ingredients looks like, and I'll let you know what I put in it in case you're interested. And there we go. The potatoes are washed, peeled, diced, and rinsed the top and the bottom off, and then peeled them with the peeler and then cut them. So now I'm going to be putting both of these not in together. I'll put the potatoes in one pot and then the carrots in one pot and bring both of them to a boil, and then I'll just test both of them with the fork for doneness. And I'll also put some salt in there. I'll just again wing it, just enough salt in the water and salt in the water of the potatoes. And there we have it. The carrots in the back, the potatoes up front. I'm starting both of them off on high until they come to a boil, and then I'll just back them down just a wee bit and let them cook until they're done to the doneness that I like. Being able to mash the potatoes, and then the doneness that we both like to eating our carrots. So, potatoes have come to a boil, the carrots have come to a really good boil, so I kicked it down to medium, and I still have the potatoes up on high. I'll probably kick it down just a little bit and let them cook like that until they're tender. And here it is before putting the lid on and locking it down. So what I have in there is I measured it out when I actually poured it in there before I put all the meat and the other seasonings in. When I just was putting the chicken broth in there, I poured it out into a measuring cup to see if I was eyeballing 1 cup. It was actually 1.5. But then I end up kicking it back to 1 cup. So 1 cup of chicken broth, I put like a teaspoon of the minced garlic. I just sprinkled the seasoned salt, garlic salt, onion powder, minced onions, smoked paprika, salt, and pepper. And I just winged it. What I know that we pretty much like on our foods and how we like them seasoned. And you're thinking, but don't you have minced garlic in there and garlic powder? Yep, sure do. I do that. Same thing with the onion powder and the minced onion. Even if I'm putting fresh onion in something, I will still put onion salt sometimes. So now I'm just going to go by the instructions here on the front of the pressure cooker and get this chicken cooking. Are tender to our liking. The potatoes are tender. All I have to do is drain those, and then I'll show you what I do to them once I get them drained. But right now I'm going to go get the pressure cooker started. Drain the potatoes, and that is 1/2 stick of butter. So I cut that up, and I'm going to put the lid back on it and let the butter melt while I warm up some milk in the microwave, because I like putting warm milk into the potatoes. While the butter is melting, I went ahead and added the salt, pepper, garlic salt, and seasoned salt. And I'll let the butter continue to melt. Check the milk. Milk probably need another 30 seconds to get warm. And while that is warming, I will go ahead and put the butter and the carrots there. Whoop, sorry about that. And I will sprinkle some salt, pepper, and a wee bit of dill on the carrots. Yep, I think it's time to cream the potatoes. So these are not exactly mashed potatoes, they're gonna be cream potatoes. Mashed potatoes, I would think of them using a masher. For these potatoes, I'm gonna be using the hand mixer. And it did just, I believe, reach pressure. Now we're just waiting for the minutes to start counting down from 15. The little red valve, and I'm not certain that's what it's called. The little needle, red needle there, has popped up. Just waiting for our minutes. And for the cream potatoes, I will call them mashed potatoes, but for the cream potatoes, I'm gonna go ahead and use this hand mixer and start mixing them, and then I'll slowly start adding the warm milk. And I used about almost half of the milk. There's our 4 wee pieces of a chicken breast. We started out with them being frozen. And there we have it. The chicken cutlets, the fresh carrots, that's dill and other seasonings, butter, garlic, salt, pepper, and the cream potatoes. And now it's time for somebody to fix their plate.